first time I met Skibber, it was like I was performing in Astoria in the West End, and he wasn't actually emceeing. He was working on the bar, so he was kind of serving at the bar, and he kind of like kind of bigged me up. I thought he was really into that, man. I like that. I was like, yeah, cool. And then the next time was we had a girl on the station, and we brought her in on the station. You know, we saw her many years ago, kind of raving, and she said that she's getting decks for Christmas and that she's going to come and talk to us, give us a tape to get on the station. Her name was Wild Child. People say stuff like that all the time. But she said it, and then she came back about 2 years later and explained to us that she was the girl that met us. And it was, cool, come, but you'll have to bring an MC. And then she brought Skibadee. And I just listened to him. And I thought, this guy's good, man. It's like his flow was really, at the time, was really new and fresh, and his tone of voice. And I thought, this guy sounds alright. And I've obviously been in the scene for a bit already. So I know it's like such a mishmash because I was around him. So in the early years we were just quite close a lot because of the things he was doing. Mm-hmm. So I can't remember exactly. Like I remember us talking a lot on the phone about putting the double time rap that we was doing over hip hop and R&B. And he was explaining to me how he thinks our two styles would really work good on it. And so, you know, I spoke to him, we sat down, we used to go over to his house, we used to sit down and just write ideas to like R&B and hip hop. And then was like, you know what, let's just do it. I've got a guy in Brighton, let's get him to Ed Solo, let's get him to make us a tune.
Oh, Ed Solo?
Yeah, let's get him to make us a tune. I'll talk to my manager, Dave Stone. Let's just run with this. He's like, yeah, let's just do it. So then we did a tester, so we did one called Slow Mo, and it smashed it. it just smashed it at the time. The hip hop market, it smashed it, and a lot of them weren't too happy that like they're jungle MCs. You know what I'm saying? They weren't too happy, but yeah. So it's kind of like, yeah, we kind of met a few times, very long time ago. You know what I'm saying? You know, and we just clicked, man. He's he's really funny, and we kind of had the same vision, and but his eagerness was just like tenfolds. Do you know what I mean? It's like you could see that this guy, you know. And when he came, you know, when I was talking to him, it was like he'd give you the vibe where it's like, you know, we were just like MCs calling the DJ's name. You know, I was like, bro, Key for years.
Yeah.
And, you know, we're all shouting all the DJ's names and stuff. And then Skibbs is there, and Skibbs come in, and you know, he's getting on the mic, and Mum is like, Super S with the K. You know, everyone's like, what? Skibadee. And everyone's like, wow. MCs more, well, the DJs were a bit peed off about it, because they were like, sorry. They were a bit peed off about it, because they were so used to having their name shouted. And then this guy just come and he's just like, Super S with the K, IPA. You know what I'm saying? It's like, us as MCs were like, kind of watching him like, is he going to get away with that? You know what I'm saying? It weren't the thing, no, it weren't the thing you did at that time. That time there, you shouted the DJ's name. This is DJ whatever, and through the set you'd just be like, your lyrics will always be about DJ, the DJ this, the DJ that. And then he came and he was just like, you know, Skibadee, Skibadee, Skibadee. And it made the MCs change. Yeah, then it changed the MCs, because then the MCs was like, well, hey, well, he's doing it and he's getting away with it. And nobody ain't there, you know, they're not happy about it, but they're not challenging him. Mm-hmm. So it was like, okay. So then the new style of MCing was born, because now it seemed very much like artists. Like he kind of looked at himself as an artist and considered us all to be artists. And he was always trying to elbow you, like, you're an artist, like, nah, you're an MC, but you're an artist, kind of thing, you know what I mean? And had this glow of an artist, so he'd move, like, dress differently, and remember one time he turned up to perform and he had some loafers on and no socks and some fitted jeans and a buttoned smart shirt and a hat with bling glasses, and it's like, wow, it's like, hey, see what I'm saying? You look really like, woo! See what I'm saying? So he kind of added the "you're a star" element to what we was doing, and I think that really influenced a lot of the new MCs coming up. They started to want to do it that way, and it influenced a lot of us that were there already. Yeah. So obviously people can now, when somebody's doing that, now everyone can feel his energy because he's making more movement within the scene rather than just for himself. It's kind of reverberating amongst everybody, whether he was a DJ or an MC. Certain DJs, when he's come to play now, they almost changed the way they played in a way because of how lyrical he was and how much the people took to what he was doing. And a lot of the MCs, we were starting to be a little bit more bolder and being a bit more lyrical with what we're doing and making it look more like we were artists and it was a show. And we were also MCing for like 2-3 hours. And Skibbity came in and was like, what? No, that's way too long. I ain't doing that. Who does 2-3 hours? No. 1 hour. And I want the same money, 1 hour. And boom, he kind of kept on drilling that. And no, I'm not doing it. I'm 1 hour. And we were still doing like 2-3 hours. And we was realising this guy's coming and doing an hour and shooting off. He's getting the same money. What's going on there? He's just getting an hour and he's off. And then that altered it. So everybody else was just like, well, if he's doing an hour, I'm only doing an hour. And it altered it again. So then the promoters only booked you for an hour, like the DJ. The DJ did an hour, so now you were now only booked for an hour. So that's a big change. No, he came more as an artist. He never came, you know, he was an MCing. He was MCing, but he was brought more of an artist edge to everything. So, you know, although he was on stage as MCing, and we were all doing the same thing, he kind of made you have more of a belief that, listen, you're doing this, man, and this is an amazing skill. Like this, you're an artist, man. You know, there's loads of people that are just out there as artists. They can't do what we're doing. You're an artist, man. What we need to do is probably start making some tunes and stuff and showing them that we're more than just MCs filling a space. And I think that bred a lot of confidence into a lot of people. A lot of people might not agree, but for one, I know that when he came into the scene, before he came into the scene, it was different. Yeah. And then when he came, it changed again. Do you understand? He brought this a different change. Do you understand? It didn't happen like bang overnight. You understand? Because he was MCing for a while and had to become popular. And he became popular very, very quickly in comparison to a lot of MCs that's ever come in at the time. And it was very hard to break in to the scene because we were very coveting the scene like that quite a lot. And but you know, his talent was so overwhelming, and he was so good at manipulating, you know, his voice in amongst the music and the music and the way the music was being played. So, you know, it kind of like, yeah, he kind of made a strong, you know, he made a really strong effect on the scene. And then, you know, promoters started to realise it. The DJs were aware of it. The ravers and the punters, they were definitely aware of it. Do you understand? And so that's why, I guess today even, with him not being here no more, you know, why it sounds so, you know, such a notoriety around him as an artist. Yeah. Because a lot of people, they felt that, do you know what I mean? Like this guy was, you know, he should have got more. You know, like when we was doing songs, like we were writing songs to record, you know, I do a verse, you do a verse, do the chorus, whatever, blah, blah. And but he had the sound, you know, he had his own studio. Okay. Us as MCs weren't thinking about getting a studio. No, we don't want a studio for it. If somebody wants us, we'll go there. But he went and set up a studio and had us all to come over there and, you know, look, this is what we need to do and we should put a click together. And so then we put it together. No, we'd already done 2 times freestyle with Dave Stone and Ed, and we took it to a high level. We got a music video that went to #3 in the box charts, and we got signed by Sony. And but you know, the deal fell through for loads of different reasons. And so he's at the studio now, and we're going up to that. And what he would do when it came to me and his voice, he'd be like, you know, you got a heavy voice, and I've got like a high-pitched voice. It really bounces off each other good. And you know, you could double time and half time, but what we should do is when we start it, let's do it like that. And then I'll come in like this because of my tone of voice, you know what I mean? It sounds good how it bounces off each other. Your tone, my tone, your tone, and we flip about the tones like that. It's going to catch people so good. And he's always been right, and then when we'll be on stage live, it'd be the same, do you know what I mean? I'd be spitting stuff, and he'd highlight certain things in my lyrics, you know, with his high voice to my deep voice when I'm chatting, and then, you know, if I'm going really quick, he might do a half-time-ish with a little bit of quickness in it, and then that would lead me to go quick, and then he'll do his like broken quickness, do you understand what I'm saying? And it was the tone of voices, the way the voices, you know, he was very aware of it. There was other MCs in there that, you know, he could have come round. It's like me, him and Hyper D, when Hyper was alive, we kind of almost worked it the same way, and he'd be like, Hyper's gonna come on, even though he chatted lyrics, he'd be like, yeah, you're gonna give the singer star, and then, you know, Deck's gonna come on there with his deep voicing, and I'm gonna come in there with, you know, like my skibbity, you know what I'm saying, my more higher pitch thing, and we're gonna have the party sealed just between the three of us, you understand? So he already had a picture of how it should go, who should go, what, you know what I mean? And it was fun. He made it feel fun, do you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? He injected this fun into the MCing that was starting to feel a little bit stagnant and stale. He kind of injected this different energy, do you understand what I'm saying? And, yeah, I mean, you know, and then always talk to me about how my voice can work. You know, I used to take, you know, in a comical way, be like, it can work like that, you know, got your voice like this. You know, sometimes when you do your thing, it might get a bit lost still because your voice is kind of deep still, so you need to do a bit like that in it, don't you think? You understand? It'd be like that. I'm like, yeah, all right, let me try that. And he'd be like, oh, and if you do, when you do good, you know, where, you know, you do good hooks and stuff, and you're right, and he'd be like, boy, oh, God. He'd be like, yes, yeah, boy, oh, man, just stepping up, and boost you, kind of, you know what I'm saying? Like, wow, you're astonishing. You know what I'm saying? That was an astonishing hook you put in there. Man, I'm gonna have to change up my stuff be a bit more heavier. So, you know, and that made you want to be around the guy. You know what I'm saying? He had a very infectious like personality. Yeah. The more popular guys, you kind of know their major hooks. Yeah, of course. And so when they're getting in and they're getting in heavy, you can hype. You know, you can. You know, he's hyping the DJ now. You can hype in the DJ's music now. You could drop a little hook on there if you know his lyrics and hype his words. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, it's a good feeling to do as well. And when you're actually doing it, and somebody actually does it to you well, you know, it feels really good. You know what I'm saying? It gives you more energizes you. Yeah, he was our method man. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, my mum had loads of animal, Rottweiler, room start. It's like, you know what I'm saying? He brought a lot of that stuff, and then you know, trying to get the crowd involved, what was going on. He'd grab all those little hooks that gets crowd participation more, and make it more of a togetherness thing. Yeah, and he had a real strong presentation of how he presented himself as an artist. He actually thought about what he was doing and how his clothing affected what it was, the crowd. So, that's pretty cool. He's like, you know, he knows, he's a tech man, so he knows all about the tech stuff. Your phone, the latest gadget, this gadget. He likes it. He seems to like the latest and up-to-datest kind of thing. You know, he liked the bling, you know what I'm saying, and you know, he would look for that. And not necessarily price-wise, just things that looked elaborate, do you understand? Because I remember when we was doing the 2x3 stuff and we was going to do a showcase, and I said, we need to get an outfit for us so that we look the same, you know what I'm saying? And I'm down at Oxford, I said, come on, meet you, we'll go Oxford Street. And he was like, oh, whoa, maybe we should just go to some of those little boutiques.
Let's spend the 2 months.
Whoa, it's 1 minute. We'll just go to one of the little boutiques. They've got quirky stuff in there. They'll pick out something quirky. So, you know, he's not, you know, he's elaborate, but not like that. And You know, food, when it came to food, you know, Skibber's a Ghanaian, and but his taste buds is so wild. And he was in France, and you know, was in this little cafe thing, and was waiting and standing. I'm like, oh man, they ain't got nothing in there to eat, man. And he's like, no, they got stuff, man. He's like, oh yeah, can I have some of those, please? And then the lady brought it down and gave him a toothpick, and he was just eating snails like, he's like, yeah, it's alright. And I was like, snails? He's like, yeah, man. And I was like, whoa, bro. And I was just, he's got this laugh. And he's, you know, so he had a really strange taste for food. And, you know, he was always up for a bit of fun. So, you know, you were like, yeah, come, let's go and do this, man. You know, in a professional way, when we're out gigging and stuff, come, let's go on the dance floor and do this, that. You know, even you might be like, oh, right, cool, do you know what I'm saying? And he'd be one of those kind of guys, and or be the guy to, you know, when you're all lounging around being a bit like, well, we'll just sit back here. You're like, nah, man, come on, let's go out there, man. What are you talking about? Oh, yeah. For the loving us out there, man. Let's go and wander. He was a real bubbly guy like that, you know. And then when it came to his family, you know, he loved his brothers and his children, you know what I'm saying, and his family. He was very much a family man, you know, and people that would have watched him on Insta and Facebook and stuff like that, they'd always seen that he'd always put things in about his daughters, do you know what I'm saying, and so he was very much a family man and very funny. Yeah, he was, you know, he was a strong lover of children, and you know, he was just very bubbly and funny. So, you know what I mean? He weren't really a drama man. He weren't like in his day-to-day life searching for drama. You know what I'm saying? He's like very soft-spoken kind of guy. You know, we had our ups and downs. You know what I'm saying? And if I believed that it was his fault or something like that, you know, and talk it out. You know, he had one of those temperaments where even if it was really bad, you know, after you spoke to him, you just go, all right. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It's like, he was just like, you know.
Was it like a brotherly love?
Yeah, kind of like a brother thing. Like, oh.
Isn't it just wind the head out of you?
Yeah, it's like, oh, but I just can't get too mad at you. And just, you know, all right, come on. See what I'm saying? And, you know, he was ready to pat you on the back. And if you got things, you know, that he thought was nice or was into, buy a new car, he'd give you, oh, I just bought a new car, you know. Well, a secret. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I just don't know to see what I'm doing. Well, the first phone call I got, somebody phoned me and said, they didn't say like, have you heard or anything like that. They said, I think Skibbedy's gone, you know. I think he died. I was like, people, this is too much hype, man. It's like, so much hype out there. Well, he fell off the stage a couple of times over the last 6 months. People hyped that. I was like, this is just hype. So I thought, let me phone because I knew he was working the night before. So I said, let me just phone the DJ I work with, see what he's saying. So I phoned him, and so, you know, I'm like, you know, I was kind of angry, I'm like, well, man's phoning me and telling me something like that. It's not a nice thing to say. So I was kind of angry. And then I phoned my mate, I phoned Brocky, and I was like, would you believe Rare's just phoned me and told me that Skips is dead? I said, what was man saying things like that for, man? Well, what's happened? And then Brocky's like, you know what? I think it's true, you know. And my heart just sunk. I was like, I was kind of just speechless. I was just like, you know, he told me that I was kind of speechless, but like, it still didn't seem like it was true. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like, what's Brocky talking about, man? And then I got a call from his younger brother. And then, you know, he's just crying a lot, man. So I knew it was true, innit? So I was like, I don't know, I just felt, and even with that, it's just, it still doesn't seem like, it still doesn't even seem like it's true still. It's like, you know. But then I phoned Shabba, and he answered straight away, and he was upset and that. So I was like, oh man, so I can hear he was upset. yeah, it's true. So,
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I just didn't know how to, I was just sat there. I was kind of, it's kind of hard to like. Obviously, I was quite tearful, but I was tearful about kind of more thinking like, man, this can't be true, man. I was saying on the same a short while ago, you know what I mean? And we worked with Brocky a few weeks ago. I was like, you know what I mean? This can't be right. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I had to see somebody. I was going these phone calls, man. I felt like I needed to see somebody, do you know what I mean? Who knew what was going on, kind of thing. So yeah, it was kind of sad still. Absolutely. So, when Stevie IPD passed away,
Yeah.
it was a massive big deal to us in the scene and stuff, and but the scene was still virtually really young, and so we kind of kept Stevie's name alive because he did influence a lot of people and make the scene grow as well.
Yeah.
But this time, man, the scene's been going for so long, and he's in a very big team of the SASAS, and they've been all around the world. They've done a lot of commercial events. They've done TV, they've done national radio, they've done a lot of stuff, documentaries, and so that's going to reverberate across the world. Do you understand? I'm getting people hitting me up from all over the world: Canada, Australia, Germany, Japan. All sending their condolences.
It's amazing, isn't it?
And so, I got a lot of celebrities sending me condolences. Celebrities, I don't even know them. But, they know of us. Obviously he's a prominent jungle drum and bass MC, right? But he's done garage tunes, he's done hip hop tunes, he's done some pop tunes. He was in a band for a little while.
Didn't know that, actually.
But through doing all this, he was still doing a rave scene. Yeah, so he'd done all these other styles of music and done it well. Yeah, and a lot of artists on other scenes respected how well he delivered what he did. It wasn't like anybody else, it was very much like himself. And you had a lot of people come through as MCs who took a piece of Skibbity, to better their game. But, if you go up on Skibbity, then you can see the influences he has in those different artists. And some of them were ravers, maybe like yourself, that were raving. You became in media, they became an artist. You understand? They still remember you. You understand? And they have this respect from you from when they was coming up. And so, that's gone throughout the whole of their scene. You understand? I'm talking about the top end guys at the top end of their music. And they're aware of us and they know who we are. And sometimes they'll give reference to us in their music. And their music is, the one thing about jungle drum bass is that nobody's ever really moved they've moved our music to a certain level, but they kind of, the MC side of it, they've always kind of been very standoffish with what we do. I don't know if somebody considered that once that, anybody could MC. You understand? So if you're going to have that kind of attitude, believing that anybody can MC, then obviously an industry ain't going to want to take them on, because it's just in anything. But, people like Skibbs and myself, and the Shabbas and the Fearlesses, and the Ragga Twins and people like that, we always had this battle where our job, our job we've seen was we've got to put this MC thing in a more serious light. But people have got to take us serious. We're just as serious about what we're doing as the guy who does a rock tune or a pop tune or a soul tune or R&B or a hip hop tune, or even what they've taken as drill. We're just as professional as artists as they are. But nobody's ever really kind of taken us on like that. Skibbs was fighting this and flying the flag. You understand? And we felt like we had to do that from when we done 2 Times Freestyle together. With the hip hop jungle, we was like, we've got to try and raise the level of the MC in this game, man. God damn, weekend people go mad to us on weekends, man. But how come the industry ain't taken to us like how they should? And so we always try to make tunes and make videos and tunes and videos, and begging a lot of favours and getting things done so that we can move the music as an MC forward. You know, the music's moving, but we didn't feel like the MCs were moving as fast. All the other scenes coming, garage and even the house and the drill and the grime, and they just come and just like they come off the back of us, but yet still boom.
Yeah.
You know, they're in the limelight of TV and celebrity status, where the rest of us just ain't really been putting that. You know, we've been there for a long time, influences these people, and but yet still we haven't really got the gold cup yet. I don't know, there's been a big fear, and I mean, you know, just Skibbs has shown the popularity of an MC internationally, not just in the UK, just around the world, and how important he is, and important what he was doing was, and how much love people can have for somebody doing something like that. Do you understand what I'm saying? And maybe in a good and a sad way, you know, he's kind of elevated, he's done more. What he's always been trying to do, he's kind of now now materialised. It's kind of now materialising due to his passing, and it's sad because it's like his passing is the reason why it's materialising.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And that's quite painful because, you know, he wanted that. You know what I'm saying? He wanted to be, you know what I mean? He wanted to be a star in it. So there's one thing that Skibbs bred was determination and never giving up, and even if you're a bit different, you know, you can still make that little difference work within whatever it is you want to do. And you know, for MCs in a sense, like, you know, he can make some real aggy lyrics, but he wasn't like that as a person. He was really nice, and, you know, softly spoken and caring in that sense. You know, everyone makes mistakes, but his heart was really clean, and maybe he was a little bit easily led, but you know, what he showed was that, you know, if you got a vision, you know, you can fulfill the vision, man. You just have to do it all the time. And he was a hard-working guy, man. There's like all the time. Do you understand? And I took a lot of that from him. It's like, look, man, your job's not done until it's done, man. You know what I'm saying? It's like just all the time, innit? Just on it all the time, and you'll be okay.